I'm Mike Hayne, and I'm talking to myself to cure myself. Today is October 24th, 2022. Time, 1 p.m. Place, 15 miles east of the Las Vegas Strip, in a rooming house in an over 55, age 55 community of mobile homes. Temperature 65 degrees, wind 15 miles an hour. Beautiful sunny day. The temperature dropped very quickly. Talking to myself to cure myself. You put it in there, talking to myself to cure myself, by Mike Hayne on Amazon, $12.95. I wrote this last year as I was living in COVID, in the rooming house. And what it is that it's the study of sociology. What human beings do, what they are, how they interact. And a lot of the stuff we see in the news is really not very helpful. It's not even very accurate. For example, one of the stories was about 1,500 illegal marijuana growing farms, illegal, set up by the cartel in Southern California. And they were stealing water. They hook up the pipes to somebody else's pipe on their land on the outskirts of the desert, and they grow marijuana. And the story was, the news report on YouTube, this was. That's where I look at my news. You can get some good information, but there's a problem. The basic way it was being presented, the cartel is bringing... Now, this is an old story. I experienced this back in the 70s in Houston, where they bring the people over from the border from South America, Central America, or Mexico. And then once they get here, the cartel, which is just another name, I guess, for organized crime, they're just mimicking the same thing my friends were doing 50 years ago in Texas. And then they say, you owe us, back in those days it was $500. You owe me $500. I drove my car down to Brownsville, Texas. You came over the border. I drove you to Houston. When you got here, there was an apartment in the apartment complex. I could still identify this place if I had to. Apartment complex of hookers and prostitutes run by the gang. And there's a whole science to it. You look at the TV shows and things of what it's about. So the cartel is only mimicking the same thing that our gangs were doing in the beginning. When they bring the immigrant over the border, now it was $500 in 1976. So, and that was a lot of money to owe somebody. So they had to work as a janitor for $2 an hour in a downtown building. It's pretty involved. And my point is this. Here's some of the points that are not brought up in the story of the 1,500 illegal farms, marijuana farms in Southern California. First of all, they're working. Can you imagine what it must be like to go and find a parcel of land, drive over there with your pickup truck, or order all the seeds, plant how would you do it? Seedlings, bring the illegal aliens over, get them indentured servitude is what it's called. It's actually illegal in the United States. We don't do that. But so they're working. And then the product is marijuana. So here's two of the things. Number one, they're working. They're working just as hard as any corporation anywhere to create a product, marijuana. 1,500 farms, illegal. And it talked about how the sheriff is always trying to bust them and everything, and the cartel is so dangerous, they got guns and everything. And then, so it overlooks the fact that they're working, they're creating a product, they're creating jobs. Hey, they brought the migrants over the border, and then they gave them a job and a place to stay. And so the second part is, oh, it makes millions of dollars for the cartel, the marijuana operation. Well, like I say, that's a pretty big business. How are you going to organize the land, the plants, grow the plants, pick the marijuana, package it, and then take it to the distribution areas in every different city and then sell it? What do you mean millions of dollars for the cartel? There's something wrong with that story. And if it is making millions of dollars for the cartel from growing illegal marijuana in Southern California, that's a business. That's the same as any business. That's the same as somebody making cereal. Thousands and thousands of boxes of cereal, driving them to the stores. The people go in the store and buy it. So what's part of the story that they missed? The money goes to the guy that's running the business, the guy that found the land, hooked up the water pipes to nearby water mains, brought the Hispanic workers over the border and told them that they now owe how much each, $1,000 each, told them how to pick the marijuana and grow the marijuana and water it and take care of it. That's a guy running a business, and he's working very hard. I'd like to talk to him about how many hours he works. Hey, I work 16-hour days. You try starting an illegal, what they call illegal grow operation in Southern California. You'll be working your butt off. So what's the real issue? Number one, the story is not covering how they sell it. I guarantee you, I could have 20 pounds of marijuana right here, and I wouldn't be able to sell 1 ounce of it. That's a big job, selling my book. I haven't done one bit of work to sell this. Most authors go around and put on seminars and things. So who is buying this millions of dollars worth of marijuana? Where is it going? What's the distribution network? And then again, it's just a corporation. It's a business. So what's another issue that they've overlooked? The same thing any business does. Talk to the economists on YouTube who are making they're retired professors, and they're very smart about economics. The same thing, Andrew Carnegie in 1900, the guy that built U.S. Steel and built the railroads and was a billionaire in 1900. One day he was walking around downtown, Andrew Carnegie, the richest person on the planet, in 1900, and he said, wait a minute, how come I got $1 billion and I just walked down the street and I saw 10 people shuffling along with holes in their shoes and looking in trash cans to see if they can find a half-eaten sandwich? What kind of economic system is this? And that was the richest guy in the world, Andrew Carnegie. So the issue is not that they're growing marijuana or even selling marijuana, but that the money is going into a specific, focused amount, an account of the guy that's running it, the manager of it all, the guy that found the land, brought the seeds over, brought the workers over, organized it all. That's the issue. The cartel What does that mean? That means there's one central guy that has all the money, the same as any corporation. It could be legal or illegal, doesn't matter. So I'm like Hayne, and I'm talking to myself to cure myself.